Hi, everybody. Are you there? Hello, hello. We have 2 people in the house. I'm going on a little early because it's starting to thunder, and they thought that there was going to be a storm. And I'm sure it's going to start raining here pretty soon. So just in case, I thought let's go ahead and start early and get this show on the road. So it says we got 7 people here. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello. I hear some drizzling or some little raindrops. Feels like raindrops falling from the sky. Wrong words, but anyway. Okay, so I guess, there must have been some mix up, because my computer, my laptop has one time zone and my phone has another time zone. Get out of here, Danny. Danny, I have some food in my little bowl here, and Danny, my doggy, is here waiting for treats. But I do want to welcome everybody here to my channel. Hey, Doxinator. I hope you're showing up with your wrench next to your name. Thanks for joining us. I tried to get on a little early. I didn't want to do a midnight thing. Hi, Nana Pam. Hi, Craig. Bobby Shine. Thomas. Let's see who else is on there. If I can go back up and scroll up. I don't know if it'll let me scroll back up or not. But let's see. Oh, it's not going to let me. But anyway, hi, everybody. Thank you for joining my channel. With everything that's been happening recently within the last week or so regarding the RVers who got lost on the road, I thought it would be a good time to talk about safety on the road. Okay. And are you prepared? Are you a safe traveler? Oh, you got a DoorDash. All right. I hope it's something good. Okay, great, Craig. I'm glad. Hey, Kev C. How are you? So that's basically what I thought I'd talk about tonight. And I know Blind Views did one earlier, and I put my post out a long time ago, but it was like it didn't show up. So I had to go and redo the post again. Hi, Juan Hernandez from California or Colorado. But can everybody hear me okay? I just don't want to be yelling. I'm eating my hors d'oeuvres for the night because I just pulled into a TVA camping location. If you don't know what TVA is, hi, RV trollers. Uh-oh, here comes the wind. Can you hear it? Uh-oh. Just slam my door closed. If I lose y'all because it starts pouring rain, I apologize. I'll try to get back on as soon as I can. I am parked at a boat ramp. Let me see if I can bring you and show you. Hang on. I'm going to take my computer. I have my laptop, but I'm going to see if I can take you with over here and see if I could show. Oops. Oh, there's a bug on the screen. And I want you to see if you could see outside. All of a sudden, this storm just come in. And I'm going to turn it a little bit more so you can actually see my view from my camper. I hope you can see it because I can't see what you're seeing. So I hope you're seeing that beautiful view. Oops. I just stuck my computer out the window. It looks like it's going to storm. And we were expecting a storm. That's what they told me. And wouldn't you know it, I pulled into the wrong campground. Yep. Stuff happens. But they said that's okay. I could stay the night here at the boat ramp. So that's what I'm doing. It looks like a bad cloud. But you know what? It doesn't look like it's going to stay long. But I can hear the rain coming. Let me just close my window by my bed real quick so my bed doesn't get all wet. Hold on. I'll be right back. Danny's getting real nervous because she gets nervous when it rains. I'll be there in a minute. Yep, here comes the rain. She's hiding in the corner. Isn't she just a sweetheart? Here she is. You want to say hi to everybody? Say hi. Sit down. Sit. You want to sit? Maybe I'll give you a treat. She loves cheese. And she knows when I open the Swiss cheese. Sit. Sit. Give me 5. Give me 5. It's a lazy 5. Sit down. Give me 5. Good girl. Give me a shake. Shake. Good girl. Okay. So, hey, Strong. Hey, Billy Strong. I got 2 mods in the house. I got Billy Strong and the Doxinator. Yep. So the topic is, are you prepared and are you a safe traveler? So what I wanted to tell you was the update on, I put my notes down. The update on the missing couple is there is no foul play. There was no foul play, but the update is, according to the sheriff's department, it was one bad decision after another. And that is exactly what the person from, yeah, good puppy. Hey, Craig. Hey, Mega Fan Mike. Hey, Carolyn's RV life sucks. Oh, that's not nice. I didn't realize what I was saying. Billy Strong, Shannon. Did I miss anybody? I can't scroll back on this particular program to see who I missed, and I apologize. I've tried to scroll back, but I'm going to try to be better about putting your comments up, okay? So that people can see who's here and who's been commenting. Oh, here comes the rain. So hope I don't lose you, okay? Let me know. The weather is looking bad. I am in Tennessee, and the rain is starting to come down now. There's a big black cloud like I just showed everybody. I do have my window above my sink open for air and my roof fan. But I don't know how long that cloud's going to stay there. It looks like it might go over. Is there, how's the volume? Do you hearing me okay? Hi, Carmen from New Jersey. Ooh, water. I just feel some sprinkling. I wonder if it's going to, there's people sitting out on the boat dock on top of their car in the rain. Isn't that funny? But now I got to close the other window because the rain is coming in my kitchen window or above me. Hold on. I just want to. I still got to keep a breeze coming in. Sorry, guys. So I pulled into the wrong oh, Danny's getting scared. Look at her. I pulled into the wrong campground and hi Sissy Taylor. We're hoping they're going to have a Lollapalooza again in October. Oh, you can hear me all the way to Canada. Am I laughing? Am I talking too loud, Kev? I hope not. So here's the deal. So the sheriff's department said that they made a bunch of bad decisions. And what had happened was they got their RV stuck in the mud. And then they went and got in the car. And then it's, according to what I read on the Fox channel, quoted by, the sheriff's department, was that they found Beverly 2 miles away from the RV. So they only went down the road 2 miles. But the best thing to do when you're out like that, I'm not Monday morning quarterbacking them. I'm sure they were nervous, etc. And they thought they were doing the right thing. Ooh, thunder and lightning. Whew. Can y'all hear that? Is it affecting the reception of my... Hi, Granny Bus Bear. Hi. Oh, I said hi to Craig already. Hey, Tracy Jones. Oh, my camper's shaking. Okay, so you guys know where I'm at. I'm at the TVA in Sevierville, Tennessee, and I'm at the boat launch. And oh goodness, you can't see anything, but I'm parked far enough away that I'm not going to fall into the lake. But I am on a lake. Okay, Tracy, if you're in East Tennessee, I'm over at TVA in Sevierville by Kodak. I just pulled into town. I do have, hi, Lindsay. I have a reservation for tomorrow, but I was here early and I went in and took a shower at the bathhouse. They they said it was okay because I wanted to look nice on the live stream. It was a travel day, and they said I could stay here on the boat ramp. Hi, Tom. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to go on about the lost couple. So Beverly was found 2 miles away, and what the law enforcement did was they followed the tire tracks of the Kia, and that's what it said on the Fox News press release, that they followed the tracks of the Kia. So that's pretty difficult to do. I mean, they also got the Kia stuck in the sand or the dirt or the mud, wherever. So they got the Kia stuck. So first they got the RV stuck, and then they got the Kia stuck. So let's talk about it. I mean, first of all, they're not that old. They're 70-ish. I believe that Beverly's 70. They both do have health issues. But they've obviously this is not the first time they have been out on the road. They decided, obviously, just not to stay with the RV. Maybe they didn't have a cell signal, which is probably what happened. They didn't have a cell signal, so they couldn't call for help. But let's talk about what we'll do, or what we should do. We know that we need to have an emergency fund for emergencies when we get stuck off the road. We need to have off-road towing. Okay. Well, one of the big things that people don't think about, we have been depending too much on the newfangled gadgets like cell phones and Germans. And, I mean, come on. There's no cell phone signal. You need to have a way to communicate. I have a CB in my vehicle. Usually with a CB, you can get a hold of law enforcement on Channel 9. Danny, stop. You just go to Channel 9 and you can get a hold of law enforcement. Somebody is listening, a trucker is listening, or a farmer. I have come across many farmers that are riding around on their tractors, out in their fields, plowing their fields. And you stay to the main roads. You wouldn't want to go on these back roads, and don't depend on GPS, because if you lose your signal, you might not get your GPS. I carry an atlas. In fact, I carry 2. I carry a big one so that I could see it with big print in my camper, and I carry another one in my car right next to my driver's seat. And I have a compass. And your dashboard has a compass. But even if your vehicle goes dead, now you can't use your CB. If you have a Jackery, you can plug that 12-volt plug into your Jackery. And that's another key, keeping everything charged. I'm not going to second guess them, nooks and crannies. We could go round and round. What did they do? Why did they do it? But we don't know. And she may never tell us. Beverly may just want to keep some of it to herself, and that's her right to do that. But let's talk about what we're going to do, how we're going to stay safe, or what we should do to stay safe. Let somebody know where you're at, where you're going, what your plans are. What do you carry with you? There's a lot of things. Here's a list: a paper atlas, a CB radio, traffic cones in case you get stalled, generator, gasoline, battery, power pack with jumper cables. Make sure you have an emergency fund, an emergency card. And what happens if you lose your keys or you lock yourself out? Always have an extra set of keys, matches, lighters. If you're going to get out of your RV and take your car, Make sure you take water and blankets and pillows just in case you get stranded in your car, just in case you have to sleep in your car. You know, there's, not just lighters, but matches, extra keys are important. These are all things that we need to remember. Traffic cone that lights up. You know what I do with those Dollar Tree solar lights that are 99 cents? I take the stick off. I have 2 traffic cones, and I put the solar light in the top of that traffic cone, and it lights up the traffic cone. I keep those on my dashboard so that the sun is constantly charging it. But you need to charge your stuff up. 2 people, 2 cell phones. Make sure you have medication. If you're going to get out of your car and go to another location, take your medication with you. It's very important. Okay, Janice, thank you. It's nice, Craig, to travel in groups, but not everybody likes to travel in groups. Thanks for joining us, Janice. I like to travel by myself a lot, or I'll meet somebody there, because everybody has their own way of traveling. There's, even Blind Views was talking about this earlier today on his live stream. You just, some people are never on time. They're always late. You're always waiting for them. So instead of leaving at the time you want to leave, you leave like 2 hours later. It's sometimes it's just easier to travel by yourself. Maybe you need to stop at the store, or it used to be before I had the van, my car always ran out of gas before everybody else, and they would say, you have to stop and get gas again. Yeah, that's another emergency thing that I do. I don't let my vehicle go less than half a tank of gas, because how about the year that my bearings burnt up and I was stuck on I-75 on Father's Day, 90-degree weather, super hot in the heart of the afternoon. Okay. And my bearings burnt. I had to sit there for I don't know how many hours waiting for a tow truck. Yeah. And I was all by myself. Nobody called to check on me, because I told her, the other people, what are they going to do? Sit there and wait for a tow truck with me? Well, go ahead and go on. I'll meet you there when I get there, Okay, Nooks and Crannies asks, have I ever been stuck someplace? Well, when I had to get the new axle last year in Texas, I was talking to RV Joey on the phone, and then this trucker kept beeping at me, and he's making all these, well, I thought he was waving at me. He wasn't waving at me. He was trying to tell me that my tire was on fire. My tire was on fire. Yeah. And so then I looked out my window and I said, oh no, Joe, I got to go. RB Joy, I got to go. Something's wrong. I think my bearings are burning up. I'll send you an email. I'll text you and let you know I'm okay. So I pulled off in the middle of nowhere in a gas station that was in the middle of nowhere by the interstate. And the people in the gas station were not the best, but the lady did at least tell me what town I was in, and I told her, I was like, hey, I'm going to have to park here all night. I said, what time do you, and she was closing at 10. So that means I was going to be out there in the middle of nowhere at a closed gas station. I didn't know if it was a safe neighborhood or not. And yeah, I am glad I got a grease gun. I'm doing it myself too. But you know what? I'm not going to change my subject, but I have to tell you, because it's, as a Christian, it's my responsibility to share. The Lord took care of me. I knew that I could depend on the Lord, and I prayed and everything turned out right. I was fine by myself, and the next morning I was able to get somebody to come out and get me, or actually came to my site where I was at the gas station. And then he said, I can't fix it here. You're going to need to get a new axle, and I'm going to need to tow you in. So I said, let's just do it. And then they let me stay at their semi tractor truck repair yard. It worked out perfect for me. I was very blessed. And the other thing is they were Christians too. So they had really good hearts. I mean, the lady, the wife of the manager there, she said, "You want to come over to our house? You could do your laundry, you could take a shower, you could." I thought that was so sweet. But you just don't know what's going to happen. Yeah. Yeah, I wouldn't get I was like, yeah, Craig, I agree. I am not going to Monday quarterback this couple. Okay. And I really don't want that to be about that. But let's talk about what we keep these things in mind for us so that we don't get in this situation. Okay. And things to remember because sometimes it's great to have other people as a sounding board so you know that this is what we need to do. So, and then if before we go on a trip, we remember, hey, let's do this or let's do that. How about an extra set of keys? I carry 3 sets of keys because you're far away from home. That's right. God's got my back, sister. That's right, Tracy. And, you know, I carry an extra set of keys. One of my keys broke in my door and I had to go and order 2 sets of keys, one to replace the one that broke. And I thought, okay, let's get another one. My son has a key to my camper door and but he'd have to mail it to me overnight. But what good is that if I can't get to a FedEx location or a mail place to get it, you know? So I keep 3 sets of keys. And the thing of it is, well, if you got to make sure you can get in and out of your car to get the extra keys for your camper. You got to make sure you can get in your camper to get the extra keys for your car. So you need to make sure that you have keys strategically placed and not tell everybody, that so they could break in and take your stuff. Having a great day, road trip, Eddie. Thanks for joining. Thank you for listening. You're listening. Great. Thank you. You're in the Lurker Library. That's what I call it instead of the Lurker Lounge. And those are all things to remember. Make sure you have extra keys. Make sure I have an emergency card right inside my door up on the cabinet. So as soon as you walk in, especially if you're one of these tall law enforcement people or firemen that come in my camper and they look up there at the switches, where my switches and my slide is, there's a card right there and it has my emergency numbers for my sister and my son, my sister, my brother, and it has 2 emergency numbers to take Danny, one in Las Vegas and one in Florida that will take Danny or make arrangements to get Danny and take care of Danny if I needed them to, other than my son to take care of her until I, was able to. It's very important that, yeah. Somebody said, I remember that. Yeah, nooks and crannies. The people that helped me, they let me stay in the garage. And let me tell you something, there was 4 bays on that garage that with semi tractors in there, and they had guard dogs in there in the yard. The yard was not fenced in, but they did have guard dogs there, big guard dogs but by that time they knew me, you know. And in fact, one of the guys that worked there, he forgot something one night and he called um the he sent me a text message because he couldn't find his phone earlier in the day. And so when he couldn't find his phone, he said, "Hey, could you call my phone?" So I called his phone and then he found it in the garage. Well, later that night he forgot something in the garage and it wasn't that late. It was maybe 11 o'clock or 11:30, something like that. Sent me a text message to make sure that I wasn't going to shoot him when he came back, you know. Because it's Texas, and they just assume that everybody in Texas is carrying protection. I'm like, no, I wouldn't hurt you. I look first. Yeah, and check your spare tires before you go on the road. And now, you know what? When you take all these precautions, that doesn't mean that something's not going to happen. You know, anything can still happen, but it's important to remember these things. I don't depend on GPS. I don't depend on my cell phone. My niece's cell phone, when she was on her way to Florida, this was a few years back, her cell phone crashed. It blew up, crashed. Now she had no directions on how to get to Florida. She didn't have a map in the car. So she had to stop on the side of the road. And it was a good thing she could remember her dad's phone number and didn't just go based on the program, because a lot of people don't memorize phone numbers anymore. So it just so happened her dad was at work. So she called the business, which is not, you can get from 411. And her dad she had to write down the directions how to get to Florida. And then when she got to Florida, he was able to send her another phone because her phone crashed. But yeah, make sure your tires are aired. That doesn't mean you won't get a flat. That doesn't mean that, something can't happen. But if you do everything that you can think of to be safe, at least you did. And this couple, they were saying, one of the things a lot of people were, how's my keto going, sissy? It's going good, but I cheated. I'll tell you about that, but not yet. Anyway, what was I going to say? I don't know. I lost my train of thought. Yeah, when the axle didn't break. My bearings burnt, which damaged my axle. Yeah, I remember, you know what, Billy? I remember the phone number when I was a kid too, but that's long-term memory. Short-term memory, if you don't know it by heart, or, because you stop memorizing stuff when you start putting them in the phone. So I have the phone numbers written down for my son, my brother, and my sister, and my friend in Florida that will take my dog. If my sister needed to do that, or my son needed to do that, because some people are allergic to animal hair and so forth, but it's really important to take all the precautions that you can, and let people know. You don't have to advertise where you're going, because as nomads and travelers, we try to sometimes we keep our locations confidential until we leave, because you might not want to get bombarded, or people might be stalking, or trolls. Oh, thanks for coming back, Pam. Gold, the spindle up. Is that what it does? And yes, RV tollers, GPS does not always take you the way that you want. I've been sent numerous times in the wrong direction by GPS in my own home state. And I'd be driving. I'm like, why is it telling me to go that way? That's ridiculous. GPS many times will gear you towards some place that has a toll, so that I think they're in cahoots with the toll people to make the toll people more money, so that you take the toll roads. You take the high road and I'll take the low road, and I'll guarantee you that the one who takes the interstate will get there before you. But it'll cost them $25. No, only kidding. Yes, there's plenty of truckers apps, and that's why the other thing is to have a CB. And if you're carrying a Jackery, which many of us do, or a power pack similar to a Jackery that has a 12-volt plug, even if your vehicle battery was dead and you ran out of gas and you couldn't start your car, or your battery went dead, or your alternator went dead, wasn't working. If you have a Jackery, you can plug that 12-volt for lighter plug from your CB into your Jackery. Okay, nooks and crannies. Yeah, Illinois. I don't know what's going on in Illinois. They always send me to the toll road because that's probably that JBP. He just wants money, 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 money. Yeah, Illinois wants your money. Nana Pam. Obviously, that was something I didn't know about. About the spindle. Yeah. Well, in fact, Badge with the last one of the last couple places. It was about a month ago. Badge goes, "Isn't it time? It's time you grease that axle, and put some grease in there." And I'm like, already on it. Already was on it. Vaccinator, did I lose you? Can you guys think of any other things? I mean, yeah, let people know where you're going. Have a point of contact that you're going to talk to and say, "Hey, I'm here and I'm there and I'm stopping here." And if I stop in a strange place, I will send my sister a text message with my location with a pin where I'm at, because usually if I'm not at my sister's, she's in Nevada, so she's still awake. I'm not waking her up usually because they're a couple hours behind. So if I'm in the Midwest or if I'm in, the Southeast, I don't have to worry about waking her up. You know, it's still raining out there. It's pretty dark and cloudy. I don't know if it's not as bad. The thunder's not as bad. Danny is hiding somewhere underneath my seat, I think. I've had GPS not take me the right way a lot. And the other thing is, make sure you have towing, you know, because, and know where your tow company will go, because AAA will not go off road and get you. Hey, Bobby Q. Thank you. Oh, Rob Q says everybody rocks. Oh my gosh, no, I did not, Pam. I don't know if Blind Views. Did Blind Views know? That is sad news. Very sad news that Kathy Griffith, she always writes in caps, passed away. And when did she pass away? The last couple of days? Can you email me, Nana Pam, the information about Kathy? Yeah, I have the right grease. I made sure. Oh, how sad. Does anybody here, do y'all remember Kathy Griffith? She writes in all caps. She's usually in our live streams. She's always, oh, okay, you told Lonnie. I'm so sorry. I know she was like your best friend. I'm so sorry. Hi, Faye. Glad you can make it. My deepest sympathy, Pam. Okay, anything that, that's sad. She was sick. She was supposed to have surgery, and then she didn't have it. Okay, very sad. I will miss Kathy, and I've been missing her for a while. And then I found out it was because she was sick, and from Pam, but how sad. That's a couple days ago. She was very ill, very ill. Deepest condolences to, you and her family. And sad to hear that. It's always, it's hard for the people that are left behind. It really is. Very sad. A friend of mine's husband just passed away also. They were married 35 years. It was really sad. The other thing I was talking about, that's okay, Pam. Don't worry. It's okay. I was traveling, on the road, and I hadn't done a live. It's okay. I understand. So, I know, like, do you have tools? Do you carry tools in your rig? Do you get and all your medication? It's really smart to have your medication in a separate bag within any important papers, so that if you did have to leave your your car or your rig in a hurry. Oh, just an older sister, huh? If you had to leave quickly, you could just grab that bag and you'd have your medicine with you. And the other thing is, if you're on something like insulin where your medicine has to be refrigerated, if you have a little cooler, and I have ice packs in my freezer, the ones that you could put in your cooler. You just throw one in your cooler. Oh, I don't have medication that has to be kept cold, but you just throw one in your cooler with your medicine, like if you had insulin or something like that. So we're Nooks and Crannies, where are you? Hi, Eddie T. I think the fire stopped. I'm right in Sevierville, Billy, and I don't see any smoke from the forest fires. It was near Wares County. And if this rain should be a help, if there are still any little fires, that are still kind of, smoldering. But I haven't heard anything else about it. And I haven't gone into town. I just am right on the outskirts, right by Kodak, right by guess where I am, right near. I am near one of our favorite places. You know where that is, Billy? Do you know where I am? What's our favorite place? What's our favorite store? Oh, yeah. I used to have a condo in they must be contained because I didn't see any smoke in the air. And I'm right by Kodak and Sevierville, on the line, but I'm in Sevierville. I'm right by the largest best knife store. And Philly hasn't answered me yet, but I am also by the Lodge store. Cast iron, baby. Yeah, Bass Pro, right? The Bass Pro is there. Is further down from where I am, but yeah, Bass Pro's not far from me. They don't let you stay there anymore, from what I was told. I'm by there's a Lodge store right here across the street from the knife store. It's not the factory one that I went to on the other in the other area of Tennessee, closer to, what was that, near Chattanooga? That was the other way. That was actually the factory. Hey, Debbie T. Oh, you're in Florida still. At the state park. How nice. And I bet you got beautiful weather, and it's pouring cats and dogs here. Danny's looking for playmates. No, I'm only kidding. So the other thing, like I said, was towing. Good Sam will come and get you if you're off the road. They'll come out in the middle of the desert, but AAA will not. They won't. And one thing about AAA is they have now changed their towing policy. Where are you at? Oh, I thought you said you were in Tennessee, Nooks and Granny. Anyway, what I was saying, AAA will only give you 4. The one right across from the knife store, Billy? Oh, or you talk about the one where the little man made out of cast iron pots is in the front. The Pan Man. Yes, Rob Q. I guess you didn't hear that part, but you know I have a CB in my vehicle, and I talked about CBs. You're absolutely right, and reminding people who are just coming in maybe didn't see it. It doesn't cost that much to get a CB. You can have it where you get the special plug, and you can plug it right into your Jackery, and you can plug it into a generator if you have a 12-volt outlet in your generator. And if you're carrying a generator, make sure you're carrying gas to put in the generator, unless it's a dual fuel, and then you got propane to put in there, because you usually have your propane filled, the dual fuel generators. But I just made sure that when I went and got gas, that I filled up my little 2.5 gallon, because when you fill that up and you have your generator on, you can charge your Jackery if it's not sunshine. You could charge your Jackery with your generator, and then you can use your Jackery plug for your CB. What kind of SUV do you have, Faye? What kind of SUV? How much does your SUV tow? If you have an Explorer, most explorers will tow 5,000 pounds. So if that's the case, you should be able to. If you have an Explorer, you should be able to tow a small trailer. Oh, an Equinox, a Chevy Equinox. I believe a Chevy Equinox probably tows at least 3,500 pounds. But it may tow. It's a V6. It depends on the vehicle, but it should at least tow 3,500 pounds. But you can't really tow very much with that. My first camper was 16 feet, and I was towing it with a Ford Edge, which would only tow 3,500 pounds. My dry weight was like 2,300. Okay, you have the V6. You got to look at your manual and see what your vehicle tows, how much it'll tow. Yeah, you could look it up online, or it should be in your manual. It should tell you, there should be a chart in your manual that tells you a couple of different vehicles that your manual talks about, and it should tell you that Equinox. But at least probably 3,500 pounds. But if you don't get something that weighs 3,000 pounds, because let me tell you something, one basket of blue jeans was 20 pounds. That weight adds up fast. And then if you're going to add propane tanks, or you're going to put any water in your tanks, if you're going to put any dishes in your rig, there you go. You got nothing left. You don't want to be at the borderline. What did I miss? 73 at Road Trip Eddie. Yeah, you could Google it. That's right, Craig. You can Google it and find out. And don't put too much weight in your camper, because your axle will, if it's it's going to be a single axle camper. So you can't put a lot of weight in there and try to tow that. And you got to remember, when you go in the mountains, you got to make, and if you don't have a tow package on your car, you're going to have to go get a tow package. That means you're going to have to hitch put on. You gotta have your 7-way plug put on so that it charges your battery while you're driving, and make sure that your vehicle is capable of that. It has that intermittent thing that will charge your batteries while you're driving, and you're gonna have to get a brake controller so that some people say, "Oh, you don't need a brake controller if it's under 3,500 pounds." Well, you might not need it, but it's really smart to have one. I would have one. I would not have one, you know, especially if you're gonna go through the mountains of Tennessee or go to Arizona, you know? I know, buy a dually so I can put my cast iron in there. I have just enough I have the cast iron in my van now, Billy. I have a big bucket that my cast iron's in. And I don't have a whole lot because, I have a couple of Dutch ovens, little ones and big ones, and I'm going to go to the resale shop that's right on uh the Dunn Parkway, some Dixie Dunn Parkway, I forget what it's called. And there's a resale shop right there or in a right by New Hope Church, my friend's church. I'm gonna go and check it out to see if I can they got anybody gave away their cast iron. If I can find something, I'll bring it to you to have you clean it up or give it to you if I find something good. Yeah, Faye, you gotta, you want to make sure that you're, yeah, you gotta really, and yeah, it's the Winfield Dunn Parkway. I never say it right. Hey, Tracy, thank you for joining us. 92 degrees, and it's pouring rain here in Tennessee. Actually, I think it stopped because it's pretty quiet now, you know? And I'm at the boat launch, and this is a huge boat launch. If you watch the playback at the begin, maybe later go look at the beginning of my video of this live. I put my computer out the window and showed you the view. Oh, and did I tell you? Like that couple might have turned down the wrong road or whatever. I'm at the wrong campground. This is not the campground that I have a reservation at tomorrow. It's the same TVA, but I'm at the other one over on the other side of the dam. If I didn't get off it, I should have got off the road sooner. There was a road to go to the one I'm supposed to be at, but I like this one. I was here before that I came and sat up with my friends when I used to have my condo here. I was at the picnic day use area before, so I didn't realize it was a different place. But the other place is right on the water and it has on the river and it has a view of the Douglas Dam. I'll be going there tomorrow. But the place I'm at right now is the boat launch, and it's at Tailwater, TVA Tailwater. I think Douglas Dam Tailwater. I think that's what it's called. And I'm on the lake, which is beautiful. But I don't know. It was beautiful and the great temperature when I got here. But I'm hoping that tomorrow or while I'm here at the other place, I'll be able to maybe take my kayak out, it so this way I only got to use it in the pool. I want to use my inflatable kayak in the river. Can anybody else think of any safety measures, things we should remember? And like we said, there's no guarantee. Excuse me. There's no guarantee that you could do everything possible and still gets stuck somewhere. Really, you know. I try make sure, whenever I can, I make sure I charge everything up, all these little things that are going to charge my things so that I have enough power to call somebody if I need help. Mhm. Good advice, Bobby. When I went and got my new tires, I made sure that I had the right ones. And when I had only replaced one tire, I had to make sure that the tire I replaced was good. And then somebody wanted to said, "Well, put your spare on there." And I go, "No, no, no. My spare is truly just a spare. It's been on my rig since 2019, and it's okay, but it's been on here. I'd rather just get a new tire." Road Trip Eddie, I'm not sure what you're talking about. What's a top Yasu with a scan display? You talking about a CB? Or are you talking about a shortwave radio? That's nice. Tracy said hi to Billy Strong. What's a 99.1A? Oh, a ham radio. I'm so mad that I didn't take that ham radio class when I was in um Quartzsite a couple years ago with Deborah Coleman. We met this guy who had a little tiny house, Paul, and he was out on state trust property. That's where Deborah got stuck in the mud. And he was going to a ham radio meetup where you could take the class. And they have it in Quartzsite every year. Oh, a high frequency? Hmm. I may still do it, you know. You know, when I grew up, my uncle had a CB base station in his house. I probably told people this before, and or on a live stream. And my aunt would, you know, they had a phone, but we didn't have cell phones then, of course, you know, in the 60s, late 50s, early 60s. And my aunt would have the base station on, and my uncle had a CB in the car. And as soon as he would get in the car and he'd be driving home from O'Hare Airport, and his base station would pick up his CB that far, you know, as soon as he came out of work, and he would check with her to see if she needed anything from the store or whatever, and make sure everything was okay. Yes, absolutely, Billy. Absolutely. My eye itches. Next next time, if there's a next time. Um if I get another rig and it's a trailer, it will definitely be a tandem axle. The other reason is that I think it's more it holds more weight, um and I don't know, it just feels like it just handles better on the road, you know. Definitely would do that. Now my guy here in Knoxville that I've been having him he's been helping me out. He's the one that came and got me on Father's Day. He didn't come and get me, but he took care of my rig when they towed me into the Napa. And Jack is his name. And he said he could put another axle on for me, but that would cost a lot of money. I'd have to get 2 more tires. They'd have to, you know, and then it would change the whole dynamic of how much weight I could pull. So it would defeat the whole purpose of what I got the van for, because the axle's gonna weigh, you know, an extra 500 pounds or so. I don't know how much the axle weighs. And that's gonna take away my towing. I have to take more stuff out of the rig. No, my van won't be able to tow that much. Mhm. Well, I have this site I listen I watch this YouTube channel. I've been watching to it for a long time. It is CB. He talks about CBs and stuff, and he's got a farm. Uh, my husband and I used to. My husband used to have a CB at base at home before we got married. When he was single, and he didn't keep it after we got married. But we had the CB in the car, and I remember there were times that I used to dream about the CB. I heard CB radio. You start dreaming about it. But I'm used to listening to the radio because when I was a police officer, I feel comfortable knowing that I got this radio on in my car. And it was a lot of fun back then. Breaker Breaker 19, and I don't know, Craig, but he said he could do it for me if that was your question to me. I will say something to you about the Tracy about a van, but I wanted to tell everybody the name of the channel that I watch. It's all the time, and where's it at? It's in my subscriptions. It's something farms. If I can find it here. And I've been watching him for years, and there's this really cool, very small CB. It's a 40 channel CB, and it's really tiny. And he got it for his wife. Something Farms. I want to find it here in a minute. Oh, excuse me, Far Point Farms. FARPOINT. Far Point Farms. Oh, gosh. That's my carbon monoxide thing. Danny, were you sleeping up against the carbon monoxide thing? Oh, there it goes. I had it blocked. If you block the carbon monoxide thing, it goes off. Because I do have my refrigerator on. That's gas, but the green light's still on. And I do not have my stove on, and there's no heat on. So she was up against the carbon monoxide thing. Sorry, everybody. So let's see. What did Chase say? You bought a fifth wheel. Just bought a fifth wheel, and I'm going to add additional bracing and leaf springs. My leaf springs broke turning a corner. And my friend who has a 19-foot 2019, she's stuck right now in she's in Kentucky. She's in Kentucky. And her leaf springs broke. And while I was talking to her, I says, "Oh, just so you know, it only cost me $125 to have each side done, $250 for both sides." I said, just in case. She goes, "This guy keeps going back and forth, back and forth." I said, "That's his problem if he didn't bring out the right parts." She only took him one trip to bring the right parts. If he brought the wrong parts, you shouldn't be paying for his time back and forth. And I paid $250 to have both sides done. Only one side broke, but I said, just do the other side just in case. I don't want him breaking again. And that was right out in front of my brother's house. And the same guy that fixed my bearings came all the way out to that location in Elgin, Illinois to fix it. So you got a fifth wheel. Well, then why are you worried about a van if you got a... Yeah, Danny farted and made the carbon monoxide detector go off. You go ahead. You can go on the bed. Go on. Go on. She's looking at me wanting to know it's okay for her. Go. It stopped raining. You can go up there. Go ahead. Uh-huh. So you bought a fifth wheel, but yeah, you're asking about a van. I tell you, I've been really thinking about this now that we're not talking about the traveling safety issues, that we started with. But when you want to talk about rigs, I look at Class A's and I think, oh man, I really would love to have a Class A. They're so nice and this and that, but I really am much happier. I don't think I would want to have a Class A because then you got to tow a car and you got to pay two vehicle insurances. That's like a waste of another $600 a year or whatever. And as far as the school bus thing, you want to have to take your school bus to the store every time you need to go to the store, you're better off with a trailer. If I do the change and get a different um rig, I think I'm going to get a cargo trailer like yours, Billy, and build it out because I saw some really good ideas. And I got 3 nephews who are electricians. They can do my wiring for me, and I don't need no fancy wiring job, you know? I'm pretty low maintenance. You know, I mean, if I did air conditioning, I'd get a window unit and just plug it into my generator or shore power, you know? I don't use a lot. Like right now, I'm boondocking. I do have a couple of lights on, and I have my computer and my um internet jetpack plugged into my Jackery. That's it. Other than that, all I have on is my refrigerator, and that's gas. No outside lights, nothing. They put new leaf springs on, nooks and crannies. But you know what? They rust easy. Like mine just broke a clean break. I turned a corner and that clean break just broke. And he told me, he goes, "What's a clean break? That's weird, you know?" But now, I think aren't those Lippert leaf springs, Billy? Hey, Sam Casway, how are you? Thanks for joining us. Oh, two different Tracys. Sorry. Which Tracy is talking about? Oh, wait a minute. Okay. Tracy Vetter is talking about a van, right? And the other Tracy is talking about a fifth wheel. Oh, that's a good idea, Billy. I mean, is it just going to be for her? Um, you know what? That little I saw the cutest little 15-foot sportsman with a slide. I mean, if she's not going to be full time in it, she doesn't need the same amount of space I have, but she still it had a nice big bathtub stand shower, but with the tub and a sink, I think, and a toilet in there. It has a sink in there too. And it had a slide for the dinette. And then the bed actually was was a couch, and then you pulled it down and it turned into a bed, and then you put it back up and it was a couch. Oh, it was the cutest darn thing. If I didn't have so much stuff, you know, I would have been getting that. But they came out with it right after I got this. It was a 2020, not a 2019. Okay, so Tracy Vetter is the fifth wheel. Tracy Jones is the van. So talking about vans, Tracy Jones, the best van. I mean, well, everybody feels different. Okay. They say that the better van if you're going to get a van, a better van is the Chevy van. But the Chevy has not changed its body style in years. So you can't stand up in it. And you want to stand up. I am a Ford girl. So I got a Ford. I like my Ford. You know, it depends on how tall are you? Depends on how tall you are. If you're vertically challenged and you're not real tall, well, maybe the Chevy Savannah or the GMC Savannah, which is just like the Chevy. The body of the Chevy van is, they say, is better made. I don't know. But I like, mine is all-wheel drive. Oh, okay. Okay, so she'd be full-time. So she'd want to take all her stuff like me and have her cast iron. Hey, living second childhood in Louisiana. Welcome. Sorry about that, Tracy and Tracy. Tracy Jones and Tracy Vetter. I apologize. You know, I really like my van, and I'm working now. I'm thinking about, I'm trying to finish off the ceiling. I keep going oscillating. I keep going back and forth about what I want to do with the ceiling. I keep watching little different ceiling builds and stuff. I'm eating or pepperoni and cheese. I hadn't eaten all day. Mm. I love my Ford Transit, and I have a medium roof. So Billy, she doesn't want to do van, right? I'm just saying with the gas prices right now. I have a Transit, Tracy. That's what I have. Badge, hey Badge. Oh, you got us on the big screen. You earlier, it's pouring rain here. I was showing everybody the where I'm at. I parked at the boat dock in Tennessee at the TVA, the Tennessee Valley Agency or area. I forget what they call it, but it's a TVA. And I'm at the boat dock, which is huge, right on the lake, but I'm right by Douglas Dam. But I'm not right now, I'm not at Douglas Dam, but tomorrow I will be because I went to the wrong campground. Ambulances, and all the ambulances are great. I keep looking at school buses. I keep thinking, oh man, I'd love to have a school bus. How cool that would be, because I like windows. I like a lot of windows. I rarely ever turn on my air conditioning. Rarely ever, because it's too much for Danny. It's too cold. I can live with fans, Even I was in 95 degrees in humid South Carolina at Myrtle Beach, and I just had a fan. I was happy with just a fan, you know. But if I have to leave her and I go someplace, then I would rather have air, I want to have some kind of air or some kind of fan that I can leave on for her to move air around and not just have her get hit with hot air all the time. Yeah, authority. That's the word, authority. I keep, you know, it's it's a senior moment, Billy. I knew it's TVA, authority. You got a thing for authority. Nobody likes authority. So I'm at a TVA, and this TVA is with my America the Beautiful pass, senior pass, with my lifetime senior pass. It's going to be $23 with taxes and everything for power and water. No, the sewer you have to take it to the dump, but I'm only going to be here a couple days. For my site on the water, it's the water view. Normally, if you don't have a senior pass, it's 30, I think, 30 or 30, 31. So still, it's a good deal. So I figured, why not? I might as well. But what I was gonna say, the other thing is about having when you have a bus or an ambulance, which are all cool things to have, are you gonna pick up your whole camp every time you need to go to the store? And you gotta take it with you to go to the grocery store, or go do laundry, or to go do any activities, or go sightseeing, or whatever? Or are you gonna tow a car behind it, Tracy? Something to think about. If you have a fifth wheel or if you have a travel trailer, you drop your trailer and you go take your vehicle, your van or your truck or your SUV, and go do the things you want to do and see the things you want to see. It's something to think about. I don't like having to pick up my whole camp and go. You know, that's the thing. I got my van. I just hop in the van. I I got my ooh, you hear that? Did you see? Can you see my ooh, even my slide is shaking. Oh, my slide, did it push my slide back in? My slide's not all the way out. That's weird. Scary. That wind was. Did you see my whole thing shake? Wow. That was a little scary. I got my phone here just in case there's and see what the weather says. The ambulances are really nice, and if you know, you usually will like I think maybe Billy or one of the other guys were saying, like Craig would say, is that they usually have a maintenance log because they probably came from, government or a hospital or the fire department or something. But same thing with buses if they're school buses, but not if they're church buses and they're not governed. I know, Sam, it's storming right now. Didn't you see my whole camper was shaking? Thanks, living second childhood. So let's see here. Oh, we went down to 24 people. Hmm. What, Debbie T, what did you say? It's here right now, Debbie. It ain't headed here. It's here. I'm going to look at the weather right now and see what it says. Well, National Weather Service, tornado watch, special weather. Well, that's great. Um, it just says winds are 7 miles per hour, but that's more than 7 miles per hour. Maybe I'll look it up in maps. The other option is this, and I thought about this, like I said, is I build out a cargo van. And you could carry your bike in there. You could have, I would make into, it would be like a toy hauler. Which membership? Are you talking to me, Susie? I know it's crazy. The wind's pretty strong, and I don't know if it just it was strong enough that it blew my slide in about 7 inches. I'm not kidding. Are you asking about my Thousand Trails membership as far as vans? If you know, is the most of the RV parks I go to, they don't say anything about they haven't yet, you got to put what year you have or whatever in your membership. But RV parks are much different then Boondockers Welcome. Like Boondockers Welcome, you have to have a bathroom, you have to have a kitchen, and it can't be, a porta potty or a bucket. Your toilet, because they don't want you putting your poop in their trash. You know, they want you to have a black tank. Oh, I hear the thunder again. Yeah, Danny got scared. She jumped up on my lap. She's right here on my lap. I don't know. See if you can see her. There she is. She's scared, hiding. Do you know snow is in the forecast for Sevierville? For here comes that wind again. What day did I see it? It said snow. Oh, Saturday. 50% chance of snow on Saturday here in Tennessee, where I'm at. Really? I've been in a tornado. I've been in a hurricane, more than one hurricane. Been in several snowstorms. I looked at the radar, Billy. I did. Yeah, snow in April, Pam. That's not unusual. We used to get snow in April many times in Chicago, in the Midwest. Well, I'm going to see. I might have to pull my slide in, which is not a big deal, or pull it at least most of the way in, so it's just even. But I was looking at the weather thing. It's not showing me the radar, but I have to go into a different app to look at the radar. If I can find my radar app. I think I deleted it the other day because my phone said I had too many apps. Let's see if I have radar. Oh, I know. I look at radar near me. I look at radar near me and it gives me another state like Alabama. It never gives me the right state. Georgia. It's giving me Alabama. I'm going to look, see if I can find Tennessee. No results found. Here we go. Well, I'm looking at the radar. It doesn't really look that bad. It just shows the storm. But anything can happen. Like all of a sudden, it says severe storms tonight and into Thursday in Florida, going from Tampa all the way up into Jacksonville. But it's not saying there was a tornado in Georgia. But it's not saying here. But the lady said it was going to be bad storms here. So I don't know. It is pretty windy. You had to look and see what time what was. I always have to look and see what time it is. And where I am at. Yeah, you know what? I decided that I started this out badge to do an early live stream because a lot of people couldn't come to the late ones, and now there's not as many people here, but, that's okay, though. I'm happy with the people who are here. It doesn't matter to me. But, we were talking about the couple who, were missing. They've been found, and unfortunately, the husband has expired, but the wife was taken to the hospital, and she's fine. She was melting snow, because it was cold and there was snow where they were at. They somehow got in the wrong place, and the sheriff's department came right out and said that they made one bad decision after another, and the first one was, um, it may going off on their own. I mean, they were originally traveling with other people. Why they stopped that, I don't know. We may never know. And the other one is when they got stuck in the mud, they took their toad off, and they took their tow vehicle and went someplace, and they got stuck in the mud with that. And they were like only 2 miles away. So I would always recommend, we were talking earlier, stay where you're at. And if you have a CB, you should have a CB in your rig. Because even if you lose battery power and you can't plug the CB in, you should be carrying a Jackery and with a 12-volt plug, and you can plug in, keep your Jackery charged while you're driving, and you'll be able to charge your phones and keep your phones charged and charge your plug in your CB, so you can call for help. And all you got to do is go to channel 9 on your CB, and that's the law enforcement channel for emergencies. And you're not supposed to talk on that channel unless it's an emergency and you're calling for help. And you should, and then you could plug your phone in, but you may not be able to tell them where you're at, because if you can't get a GPS signal on your telephone because you couldn't call them, that's obviously couldn't call me. I use the CB. You could kind of give them an idea, what street you're on or what highway you're at or what maybe the landmarks are. One of the things I always, going back to that subject again, um, when you're driving down the road, I always watched my mile markers, and that was a big deal with law enforcement because, one of the big thing is being able to call for help. That's why they got those big numbers on the top of the cops' cars. It's so the helicopter can find them, and so somebody can snitch on you also. Say it was car number, 034 or whatever, um, and complain that you were doing something you should have been doing or you were doing something they didn't like. But know your landmarks, keep an eye on landmarks, and your mile markers numbers are really important. And always remember this. A lot of people don't know this, but if you remember your vehicle usually right next to your speedometer, right on the inside, like underneath your gasket or whatever, right there, it tells you what direction you're facing. So, if you were heading southeast or you're heading southwest, you could say my car says I'm heading southwest and I'm on this route 7 or whatever. And the last mile marker I saw was number 42 or whatever. Or the last thing I saw was mile marker 42 and a 7-Eleven. They could find you then, especially if there's two of you in a vehicle. You got a co-pilot, two people, um, your co-pilot should be your navigator so that they could keep track of things for you. It's always a good thing. I mean, it's great when you have somebody in your car, but one of the biggest things that was pounded in my head as a cop is know where you're at all times, because, if I get shot, I got to be able to tell somebody where to come and pick up my body, or if I need help, where to come and get me so they can get me to the hospital, scrape me up off the ground if I got in a car wreck or something, Yeah, springtime in Oklahoma does, Sam. It means tornadoes. Yeah, bitch. My van, when we're talking about mileage, my van is only getting about 11 miles a gallon, pulling my 4,000-pound trailer behind me. So the original broadcast here was live chat is about safety, when you're driving and on the road. and travel, whether you're traveling alone or traveling in a caravan, that kind of thing. Checking in with people, knowing where you're at all the time, knowing your location, situational awareness. Don't talk to strangers, you know. Don't go down some I mean, why get off the beaten path, you know? Um, Blanket. I mentioned that. Take Now she says she was melting snow and drinking it. So, obviously, they didn't take water with them. I got a case of water in my van, and I got plenty of water in my fridge, and you know what? I have a Berkey now. No, I have a clementine now. Make yourself a clementine. Has everybody seen my clementine? Have y'all watched my video? Yeah, I always have water in my vehicle, winter or summer, doesn't matter. That's something I learned as being a cop living in Florida. You got to have water. Got to have water because you get stuck even in traffic. You need to have water. And I got to have water for Danny and me. And that's what I say. Carry a blanket. You can get a blanket that you plug into your lighter to warm it up, or plug into your Jackery, whatever kind of a power, your rock pile or whatever you're carrying while you're charging in your car while you're driving. So you'll never be without power. And you could plug one of those blankets in. I have lots of blankets because right now my heat's not working. My thermostat won't work, so I don't even turn it on because I don't want to leak gas or anything. But I have a space heater, and I got a zillion blankets. Danny and I stay nice and toasty warm. Yeah, you like my clementine, Tracy? Well, I learned how to make it from Badge. I did. Right, Badge? I love it. The thing I got to figure out now, sleeping bags. Yeah. Oh, keep a sleeping bag in the trunk. Those little warmer things, I keep them. I have a couple in my glove box. You can put them in your gloves to keep your hands warm or to keep your feet warm, you know. But I think one of the key things is don't leave your vehicle and go out wandering. If you already are lost, why would you get in another car and get lost or get stuck somewhere? Great. So your electric blanket, you can plug into your Jackery. Yeah. Okay, Craig, I was born in 54. I drive. I can walk and chew gum at the same time. I drive by myself. I have my GPS on my phone. I have my Atlas book. I have a compass right on my dashboard and on my phone, but I also have a compass on my walking stick that's in my rig. I have a compass on the top of my walking stick when I go hiking, in addition to one on my phone. And there's one in my car right on my dashboard. It will tell me what direction I'm headed. And I can talk and sing it also at the same time. What's an FAX? What's an FAX? That's an all these new acronyms. There's acronyms that have what is an FAX? Oh, a first aid kit. Yeah. I have a first aid kit in my car also. And not only have a first aid kit, but I have a CPR mask because I am a CPR. I was a CPR instructor and first aid instructor. And I have those little emergency blankets, those silver ones, because I used to teach first aid and CPR. So I had a bunch of those blankets in my little kits that we used to do practicals with when they would do you know, with, giving chest compressions and everything, and then putting the blanket on them and all that other stuff. So I have all those silver things, and I just stuck them in my camper, those insulation emergency blankets. But I still carry my CPR mask in my van, just in case I got to hop out and give somebody CPR. Oh, you have food in your that's good. Oh, I love those bibs you wear. Man, those look so warm. My coat is, I have a coat that goes all the way to my ankles. I call it my Barney coat because it makes me look like Barney. And it's good for 40 below. Yeah, it goes all the way to my ankles. I've got a hood and everything. I carry gloves in my I have a winter coat in my van right now, of course, because it was cold when I left. And I have gloves, and I have my winter boots underneath in my basement, and I have rain boots, my Lollapalooza rain boots, you know. But again, I'm I don't usually chew gum either, Debbie, but I did have gum yesterday. Um, I was chewing gum yesterday. It was weird. I don't know why I stopped and got a pack of gum. I think I was a little nervous because I went to meet up with I went and met my high school boyfriend. Who's not I mean, he was my high school sweetheart for 4 years, and, I stopped to visit I visited with his sister the day before, and I stopped to visit him at his business yesterday, and I had a really nice visit, and I cheated on my keto. I said I was gonna tell you about that. He has a hot dogs, restaurant, a hot dog place in, right outside Atlanta, and, I love hot dogs. That's something from our neighborhood. Hot dogs are a big deal. And in Chicago, the Chicago hot dog. Well, he has a hot dog place with also has a catering business. And so I said I needed a hot dog fix when I went to visit him. So he sent me when I left, he sent me off with 2 hot dogs with mustard and onions, and I thought I'll eat one, but I would just take a bite with the bun, but then I wasn't gonna eat the bun. I did. I ate the whole thing with the bun, and then it was so good that I ate the second one. So if you're ever in Atlanta, check out Skip's Chicago style hot dogs in Avondale Estates. I think it's called Avondale Estates. Just put Skip's Chicago hot dogs. It'll come up because he's in the hot dog book. There is a hot dog book, about the best hot dogs, and places I tell you about are in there. Gene and Jude's is in there, the one in Illinois, in River Grove, right outside of Chicago, and Skip's hot dogs, Skip's Chicago style hot dogs, is also in the hot dog book. Well, you know what? The Blue Van Dan just put a diesel heater in his school bus. Hmm. Oh, you haven't seen my Clementine? Yes, I do have a Jackery. Is that what you asked? I have the small one, the 240, and it's been doing good for me. The only problem with the 240 is the small one is there's only one actual electrical outlet, but if you plug in an extension cord and then with the 3 little outlets, you don't want to overdo it. You could hook more than one on there, but you guys can only have so much. It has a cigarette lighter, the 12 volt. It has 2 USB ports, and it has one regular plug, like as if you were putting it in your wall socket, like my computer plug. That's my Jackery 240, and I got it on sale for $199. I just got it this year. I've been, you got to save up money to get stuff like that. So that's the Jackery I have. and it's doing fine for me, you know. I do have another USB port in my camper, and that I could use. My other two, they shorted out, just like in my other camper, it shorted out. I'm gonna have my nephew look at it when I get home, see if he can. I might have to get just a new one and see what the problem is. But then so Danny, you got to go over there, honey. They want to see my Berkey. Hang on, I'll let you see my, not my Berkey. I'll let you see my Clementine. Let me get it. I'm going to turn this just for a second. Oh, my legs sitting so long. Hang on. Oh, I'm getting old. I'm 67 years old. So I'm almost as old as the lady that got lost with her husband was 70. She's only she's my sister's age. My sister, she goes camping all over the place. Well, they sold their camper now, but they used to. Her and her husband. They just sold their camper. You know, there comes a time in that some people are of an age and of physical limitations that they shouldn't be traveling all over, you know. But then you could be the healthiest person in the world and be an outdoorsman, and anything can go wrong, you know. God has a plan. I mean, I'm sure that his plan is not, you know, God doesn't plan on hurting people. But what I'm saying is that, you know, you just don't know what's going to happen or what could happen, but you do your best to be as safe as you can. So here is my Clementine. Hey, Lorelei, thanks for joining in. Did you just get here? I'm sorry, just saw you. Oh, I know you would, Granny Gus Bear. But I've already you have the 290. That must be I didn't know they made a 290 and a 240, or is my 240 really a 290? Yeah, he passed away. They took her to the hospital, and she said she was melting snow and drinking that, you know. So I carry a case of water with me, although I drink a lot of water. So, but you could, I have my Clementine. I could drink snow. I could drink water from the creek or a puddle in here. So here it is. Oops, here it is. See? There it goes. And it is 2 pots. They're asparagus. Ooh, suction is pretty good. They're asparagus pots. See? That's the top one. It's got a glass lid. There's no water in it right now because I emptied it when I left because I didn't want it spilling all over. Everything fell all over in the camper. There is the filter, the Berkey filter that I got online from Amazon. And this is the water drips out of this one down into the bottom section. And I love it because stainless steel is so clean. And then I drilled a hole in the bottom and I put the spout in. I did a whole video on it. Did you watch? You maybe want to go back and watch that video about my water filter. So, and you prime the filter. I learned how to do this. I watched Badge do it. And then when I was doing it, I went back and watched him again and again and again. So I must have played Badge's video a lot of times. So I did it right. And then this is and I'll tell you what, this filter this pot is 10.25 deep. And the filter is 9.75. It was very close. See, this has just enough dome on it. Just enough dome. I'm going to turn it sideways so you can see that it fits with that filter. So you got to make sure that your pot isn't too shallow. to fit your filter in it, because then your filter will be sticking out the top and you won't be able to put the lid on. I mean, and you know why I know that it's working good is because if you watch the video, I put red food coloring in here, and when the water came out, it was clear. And it takes the chlorine out of your water too. Yeah. And that stuff, then the fluoride, all that junk out of your water. So I could take water, rainwater, creek water, anything, put it in here. Exactly, Debbie. Berkeys are expensive. You're going to make your son a good idea. And you could probably, you might be able to get pots that are taller and thinner for like somebody who doesn't, but this, I'll tell you what, this is just, I empty it out, but it's great for me and Danny. And I still have bottled water, because I had bottled water. Like now, I don't really have any place. I could go into the bathroom and get water at the showers that they let me use here, but there's no drinking fountain right here. And I can't get down to the to the lake to get water from where I'm at. It's all closed off. But when I'm driving, I have to empty this because it doesn't, like, it is pretty stuck, but I don't want to take a chance of the water going all over the place, The Berkeys are like anywhere from 200 and something all the way up to over $600 if the bigger ones. You could make a bigger one than I have with one filter. The only difference is with one filter, it takes the water longer to go through. You could put 2 filters inside it, but you really don't need to unless you're in a hurry for water, Badge says 2 years and he's still on the same filter. He's good for 6,000 gallons because he has 2 filters in there. Each filter is good for 3,000 gallons. So if you put 2 in there, you're going to get 6,000 gallons. I paid 48. Actually, I said 48, but you know what? I just looked on Amazon. They were $42 for 2 of the Berkey filters. $42, not counting tax or whatever. And which made me think, gee, maybe I should go buy 2 more, And then these pots were a little bit more than I think than I had. They're $30 each, so it was $60 for these pots. So that's 105, maybe with tax. And then the little spigot spouts, I don't remember how much they were, maybe $10. And you get 4 spouts with all the washers and everything for what the price. So maybe if it cost me $120 at the most, that's better than $250. And actually, yeah, I did. As I said, $120. Yeah, about $120 it cost me. And the filters are great. Oh, is that my link? Thank you. Thanks, Billy. Yeah. But also look at Badge. Badge did it first. He put 2 filters in his, and he did the bigger pot. You could get the bigger pots for the same price as this little one and have twice as much and put 2 filters in it like Badge did. Once you drill the 2 holes, though, you got your pot with 2 holes in it. You'd have to plug up that hole or something if you just want to put 1 filter in. But the 2 filters helps it go through faster. That's why I said Badge, it was about $120 for mine too. But I did notice that these pots that I got on Amazon, the stainless steel was a little thicker than the Walmart. The bottom seemed a little thinner. And you can do it even cheaper. You wanna do it cheaper? Let me tell you how to do it cheaper. You go buy 2 5-gallon white buckets or 2 orange Home Depot plastic buckets. Wash them out. It's not any different than having a drink out of a plastic cup, and drill your hole in that. But when I saw it done, the person left the lid on the bottom pot and put the filter through the top one and through the lid. And then the lid snaps closed onto the bottom one. And then you don't have to worry about tipping over like this one, but it's in plastic. Yeah, it's not any different than a plastic water cooler. And those buckets are what? $2.99 each. You could save yourself another $60. Right, Badge? Yeah, you can clean the filters. Yeah. Yeah, Badge, you should put your link up. Let me see. Badge, don't you have a wrench? I thought you had a wrench. I had a wrench for you. I don't think I can do it now because I'm in this other program. But my video has a link to Badge's video in it. So if you're watching my video that Billy put the link up for, you'll see it'll come up, a little thing will come out of the side, like over on this side. And it'll have Badge's link. Yeah, at the thrift store, you want to get stainless steel, and you have to have two that fit. What is SHTF? SHTF. What is that acronym? I don't know what those acronyms mean. Please don't do that. I feel stupid. Do you show that he has a wrench? If Batch has a wrench, he should be able to post his link. I thought he had a wrench. Okay. Thanks, Bobby. Yeah, I know. As long as you have a wrench, you can post a link. That means SHIT? Oh, shit hit the fan. Oh, sorry. Thanks, Billy. Okay, I got it. It hit the fan. Oh, you know what else I was in when we were talking about safety when traveling? I don't know if they work or not, but you know that little thing that says I've fallen and I can't get up? Does that work when you're traveling? I've been thinking about getting one. Because what if you don't have your phone with you? I don't always have my phone on me. Yeah, and I know. What size do I want? Yeah, somebody else said that they'd never even heard of Berkey. One of my viewers, I think it was, I know it was James Bonner. He's one of my awesome people that's been following me for a long time. He said he'd never even heard of Berkey. But you know what? I didn't hear about Berkey either until I think it was Creativity RV got hers. That's where I heard about it. And speaking of Creativity RV, there are so many gurus out there, veteran travelers who've been telling us all these safety things and apps and, you know, safe places to stay and how to do this and how to do that, for I know for at least the last 5, 6, 7 years before you ever even go out. Thanks, Sam. Before you ever even go out on the road, you've watched those. Why would you ignore those things that you just learned from people like Bob Wells and Creativity RV and um, Will Prouse with the Solar, or, you know, me when I talk about things, Badge, you know, Billy and Rhonda and, you know, Frugal RV Gal and all these people who talk about safety, the Dan Van, people who talk about things that they've learned on their Carolyn's RV life. You know, you may not like all of these people all the time, but believe me, they have published very informative videos about safety and, you know, having an emergency fund and making sure you have a map and making sure your tires are filled. Scotty and Terry from Destination Open Road, they're always giving us good information, always have. I mean, Scotty's always talking about fixing things up, you know. The Dan Van, all kinds of people. I don't want to forget anybody, and I apologize if I have, um, but it's just the truth. Oh, your dad has one of those things and it didn't work? So it didn't work when he fell? I'm gonna remember when I'm gonna tell you about when I went to Oatman. There's probably a few people that's gone to Oatman here. Like, I know I think Badge has gone to Oatman, but anybody else who might have gone to Oatman, Arizona. And I took the scenic route. I shouldn't have took the scenic route, which goes through all these beautiful areas, but nothing's out there. And guess what? Who would have thunk that Oatman doesn't have a gas station? No, Oatman does not. When I was there, maybe they do now, but Oatman has no gas station in town. Where all the donkeys are and everything. Maybe after you go all the way through the town the other way, but the other way, the roads are narrow and very steep, so I ain't going that way with my pool and my camper. I mean, Scotty told me, it's pretty narrow going out of that way. It's steep, we know that that's something you don't like. So I didn't go that way. So I ended up stopping at the fire station, and the fire chief, I asked two of the paramedics or the firemen, they asked the chief it was okay. I says, "Can I stay here tonight because it's dark now and you don't have a gas station and I don't want to take a chance of getting lost in the dark." And they said, "Absolutely." So I slept right out in front of the fire station in Oatman with my generator on because it got cold at night. It gets cold up there. And he warned me, he goes, "You're going to hear a lot of donkeys in the morning." But I didn't. So, yeah, you got to be careful. And I was by myself when I went to Oatman. I didn't go with anybody else. Yeah, good for at least 2 weeks. Me too. Except for gasoline. I mean, gasoline's gasoline. I mean, I only have but what's nice about my van now, um, is that it holds more gas than my Explorer did. So I can get about 70 more miles out of this van than I could in my Explorer. And then I always have my little gas can And you're not going to have a fix for everything, or emergency fix for every little thing that might happen to you, but at least that when something does happen, you have the ability to call for help and get help, you know. And my next thing is, I really think I'm going to try to learn ham radio. I've had a CB since I started on the road. I tried to get, I was going to get one hooked. I tried to hook one up for Deborah Coleman, but we had an issue with her getting hers hooked up. But I mean, those little walkie-talkies, they don't do jack unless they're like a Uniden one that has the same, transmission ability and reception ability that a regular CB has. Yeah, the bus does carry, my van carries my tools and my generator and everything else. Badge's truck has solar that powers all his power tools that are inside his truck. Yeah. He showed me that. Yep. Chrome's a good guy. Yeah, we all know Chrome. Hey, Angie, thanks for joining us. In fact, when I get home to Chicago, I have a package in my mail from Chrome. I can't wait to open it up. I got he sent me some of his stickers that I think are like archived now or something. Oh yeah, the GPS, Craig, did take me the scenic route, and I wish I wouldn't have went that way. That's right. Use the paper map. Hi, Angie. Danny's over there. She's laying down. She's having it rough because of the storms. She doesn't like the storms. But yeah, I got a big atlas, like I said, in the camper. It's huge, so I could see it. And then I have another one that's right next to my seat underneath Danny's little bed, so I could just pull it out and get my atlas out and use it. And the other thing I carry is an extra pair of glasses. Yes, actually, I have 2 extra pairs of glasses, but I broke both of them now. But I still have the glasses, I just don't have arms on them. And I have my contacts. Because if you lose your glasses, oh man, you're up, a creek. Yeah. I love paper maps. There's none, because you can find other ways on paper maps that you can't find, that GPS doesn't give you the information. Give you information on alternative routes, And sometimes GPS will send you down a street that doesn't go through. Yeah, dead end. And I think they said something about a dead end street. I don't know if they went down a dead end street, so I don't know if that was a GPS thing or if they just saw a street and turned down it. But if you have a paper map, it'll show you whether the street goes through or not. Yeah, Danny, she's a good girl. She is. It's pretty pitch black out here, but there is a light here, and the lady was really nice about letting me stay here since I went to the wrong RV park. She was looking at my reservation. She goes, "Well, I don't have you with a reservation." I said, "Well, I'm site number 2." I said, "It faces the water." She goes, "Site number 2 over here isn't on the water." I said, "Oh, maybe I'm in the wrong park." You have Intel files? Okay, and where is all that information at, living second childhood? In your phone? That you're not gonna have a signal to retrieve the information? Or is it on an external hard drive that you can still pull it off of onto your laptop as long as it's charged? You know, that's like, putting your photos and your videos on um, iCloud or on Google Photos. You can't get them if you don't have a signal. Can't get them. You have to be where you have a signal. So if you lose your signal, you can't get those photos or that information that you've just stored on your Google on your Google Photos or on your iCloud. You only can get them if you have a signal. So that's why I save it. If it's, you can save it on your phone, or if you have it on one of those little thumb drives you could stick in the bottom of your iPhone, you could see that it has a little thumb drive you can put in there with the same lightning um, adapter. But the only way you could get it if you're getting it off of a drive or a thumbnail, or if you're getting it off of your external hard drive, because if you have no internet signal, that's what you got to watch out for. Yes, paper, paper, paper. You will always come home with paper. Very true, Badge. Good advice. Yeah, it's amazing. The only GPS I have is my phone. I mean, I use well, I should take that back. Oh no, it is the only one because I did not get it on this. I had it on my Explorer, but it never worked. It never took me to the right place. Always took me to the wrong place. The one on my Explorer, the one I had, and it came with it, so I wouldn't have bought it. But my son took it. Said, when you come here, don't use GPS. To this one place I was going to meet him at. Don't use GPS. Use your telephone. Don't use your GPS on your car because it won't bring you here. It's going to bring you somewhere else. It won't bring you here. And sure enough, he was right. Mm. For your license for the Coast Guard, they require you to carry 2 pairs of glasses? Oh, I didn't know that. I'd carry 2 pairs because I don't want to go to jail because, if you're required to wear your glasses when you're driving and you get stopped and you're not wearing it, it's a criminal offense. They can arrest you if they want. It's a criminal ticket. Well, at least in Florida where I worked as a cop, it was a criminal ticket. We could take you to jail. Just like as if you had a suspended license. It's just, But you can always stop at Walmart and get a pair if it's a reading issue. But for me, it's not a reading issue. For me, it was a distance issue, but now my eyes are better. Now it's a reading issue. Oh, of course, you know, if you have a planned route, my route's never planned. You know, when you live full time, you may not have a planned route. You might just go, but that's the thing is, you might not always be wanting to go by the seat of your pants, because stuff happens. Yeah, sometimes it will take you back a different way. Yeah. Anybody else have any thoughts or any suggestions? How cold is it there today, Badge? Bobby, aren't you in cold weather also? Class E misdemeanor? Well, yeah, it's a misdemeanor. If you talk about not wearing the glasses, we don't have Class E misdemeanors in Florida, but it's still a jailable misdemeanor. There's some misdemeanors that they just give you a court appearance, like what they call a notice to appear, or you got to go before a judge with the ticket. Um, and they can write that for you, a summons to appear right there at the curb. But there's other times where, like, a DUI is a misdemeanor, but it's one of the highest misdemeanors there are. It's not a felony, not the first time. The third time, it's a felony. That's a combined 3 misdemeanors, 3 DUIs becomes, they make you a habitual offender, and they, in some areas, as a felony. It depends. Every state's a little different what they do. It's still thundering out there. I don't know if you can hear it. It's getting colder, Bobby. It's going to warm up next week. It's going to be 70 Saturday. That's nice. Do you know it's supposed to rain here? I mean, it's supposed to snow in Tennessee on Saturday. It's forecasted to maybe snow. I'm like, I should have turned around and went back to Florida. Uh-huh. I do have a reservation for Thousand Trails at the in April, at the end of April. So I thought it was sooner. I'm going to keep watching the weather. I may just stay in Tennessee. Well, in Kentucky, I can go camp for free. There's a few places in Kentucky that are free, or Thousand Trails too. I know you're not in Tennessee, but I mean, if it snows here, that's killing me. You guys are further north. Yeah, Illinois, I think it said it has possible snow also. TTO, what's that? I need to get a chart that tells me what all the acronyms are. Okay, Billy, what was a true story? What did I miss? Let me see if I can scroll back up. Oh, Navigator. Okay, I got that one. Ooh, more thunder. Oh, Thousand Trails Orlando. You're still there. You're not there still. I thought you said you left. You're somewhere else, you told me. You already earlier you said where you were at in Florida. Oh, Danny, are you getting scared again? You want to come up here? Come on. Come on. Go. You gonna look at everybody? Isn't she cute? You're no snow on that's your motto on the road? Not a snow cone. Oh, Janet, welcome. The picture is blurry? Oh, maybe it's your computer, because it's real clear at my end. I don't know. You guys, is my picture blurry? Am I not coming? Well, because, it's storming here, though, Janet. Sorry. It's storming here. I'm in Tennessee. I just got to Tennessee today. Sorry, I just noticed that you were here. 60 and rainy in North Carolina. Hi, Paisley Dreams. Thanks for joining us. Okay, thanks, Bobby. So the picture's clear. It was beautiful here today in Tennessee until the rain started tonight, you know. And when it storms like this, she is so afraid. Just wants to be on my lap. Thanks, Tracy. I think Trip and Tracy said she was gonna be. She's in Kentucky right now. I just saw one of her videos, but then I thought she said she was in Tennessee, so I sent her a message to see where she was at because I thought, well, maybe I can meet up with her. You're in Waukesha Springs State Park. Oh, you're in a state park. Yeah. You know, this is a really where I'm at right now is a really cool place to have a meetup. But, kind of like, but, you never know because it gets sold out really easy in the summer and it's only open really in the nicer weather because the winter's too cold. I think one of the parks is open all year round, but not the other one. Um, there was somebody who had a thank you, living second childhood. Um, someone had a meetup a couple years ago at Land Between the Lakes in Kentucky. That's a nice place, or Lake Bartlett, in that area, Land Between. I went camping over there at one of the parks. Saucy and I it was like $7 a day. We had the best. Everybody kept going by us, screaming and yelling from the water in their boats. You got the best campsite in the whole place. My campsite, I could walk right into the water. Yeah, it was right where the boat dock was next to the boat launch, and it was a huge area. And Saucy and I were there, and it was awesome. We loved it. The water was beautiful, just beautiful. Danny even went in the water. We went on the raft. Didn't we? Went on the raft. You had your life jacket on. She has her own life jacket. We had a blast. Oh gosh, I think I was there for a whole week, you know. And I was hoping maybe to go kayaking while I was here, but if it gets cold, I won't be kayaking. I'm with my blow up kayak, inflatable. Thanks. On the big screen. Oh goodness. It did not rain when Saucy and I went to that park. It rained when her and I were at the other when she first met up with me at the caverns at the Thousand Trails Park by the caverns, and then we left and we went to the other state or national forest. I think it was a national forest near in Kentucky because it wasn't that far from her where she lives. But before that, we were in oh, the Kentucky by at the caverns at that one park right near. It was the Thousand Trails Park in Kentucky. That's where it rained so hard that her tent collapsed. Poor girl. It rained on Saucy in Lollapalooza too when she was staying by Billy. Nooks and crannies, thanks so much for joining us. I'm glad you caught me too. You've been here a long time. Thank you. I appreciate it. It's good to see you. Will we see you at Lollapalooza in October if they still have it? I mean, I'm sure they will. She'll announce it whenever she's got the plans made. Yeah. Nomad Eric does too, but you see him tonight in his hot tub? He's so funny. Oh, I'm friends with him on Facebook, so he had his hot tub filled up and put together inside his that little storage building he's got where he. It was so funny. Oh, are you leaving too? Good night, Craig. Thanks for coming and staying so long. Have a good one. Thanks you so much. Oklahoma. I have friends in Oklahoma that have property, Sam, and I've stayed there a couple of times. Not far from where that hurricane, I mean, that last tornado hit. Yeah. Oh, here comes the rain again. Well, we have been on for 2 hours and 19 minutes. Thanks, Craig. See you later. We still got 26 people here. Bobby's still here. I don't know. I think I lost the Doxinator a long time ago. He didn't say anything. He's gone. I didn't even know he left. I didn't mean to not say goodbye to him. Oh, you met them 2 years ago. Oh, I love camping with Eric. He's a lot of fun. We had such a blast at the Swarm, Schoolie Swarm in the Ozarks. Oh my goodness, we had a blast. Other than getting chiggers, chigger bites, we had a blast. I mean, we were singing and not with karaoke, we were just singing to music. And, he'd say, okay, name a song. And we'd look it up and we'd get the karaoke version up on the screen. And we'd be, singing and having a great time. We watched the a movie till late. And they never said anything about us being too loud. Eric put his big screen up, which was nice because then I didn't pull mine out. His is bigger and better, But yeah, we had so much fun. And he barbecued one night, I think. They barbecued. We had a big barbecue, but him and his friend actually, and this other couple guy and gal that were parked next to them, they actually did barbecued all the beef or all the meat for the one dinner that we all had. It was pretty cool. He is, yeah. He is. I mean, we have fun with him at Lollapalooza. He's a blast. He's really a lot of fun. Here comes the rain again. Oh yeah, he seems like he's like back in heaven again, like when he had the other class C. Plus, he's hi, Wondering Woman. Thank you for joining. Oh, thanks so much. That's nice of you. Oh, Nooks and Cranny's back. Oh, well, I looked at the update from the from the Fox News, what they told the police. It's probably the same as what I mentioned, that they were located only 2 miles away from their. That's the way it sounded, was they were 2 miles away from their Class C or their RV in the car, and that he had already passed, and that she was drinking melted snow. And she basically stayed in the car. She didn't get out unless she had to, maybe go to the bathroom or something. And probably being both Bev wanted to tell us, but like the sheriff's department said that they made one bad decision after another on what they were going to do. My recommendation for us that are here or other travelers would be, if you don't have to, stay put so that somebody will find you, because the more you move, the more they have to move, or the chances are that they won't find you. So you're better off staying with your vehicle, the original vehicle, the biggest vehicle like the RV. Stay with your vehicle Stay warm and hydrated, and have a CB so you can call for help and not depend on cell phones. And this is what's going to have this. That's the problem that we're going to have with these electric cars, because they're going to be the government's going to be able to program those electric cars so they can just pull the plug in. You can't go nowhere. Yeah. What are you going to do when everything breaks down? The electric car, I mean, and all the electricity in it, you're not going to be able to stay warm because it's on the electric. You have no more power in the battery. It's not like you could pull out a can of gasoline and put it in the tank. A can of electric and pour it in your battery. You can't unless you have solar panels. And if the sun's shining. Yeah. Eric's a lot of fun. He is. He was doing some crazy stuff in his hot tub. I don't know if you can see my whole van's shaking again. It's lightning. I don't have my stabilizer jacks down. You think so, Billy? Can you hear me? Or maybe I just wasn't talking. Okay, so it's not me, it's hers. Yeah, when you get an electric car, don't forget to take your diesel generator. Ooh, maybe there won't be diesel gasoline available to buy. Hi, Carl. Thanks for joining. Greetings from North Texas, and no rain here. It's pouring here in Tennessee. Lightning, thunder. You hear me talking? Yeah, the CB is like the most important thing. Or if you have a ham radio. Yeah, that's true, Bobby. I'm talking about Eric's Class A. Plus, you know what? That Class A is a gas guzzler. I'm sure. You had strong storms last night. Oh, I just thought I heard a funny noise. You can hear me and the storm. What's gone bad? Just Class A? Did he get rid of it? Tracy, are you talking to me? But you're in Maine, aren't you? Hey, Deborah on the go. No, I'm not in Florida. I am in Tennessee. Just pulled into Tennessee today. I'm in Sevierville, right by Dollywood. Well, almost near Dollywood. Oh, really? Did he say he got rid of it? I didn't see that. Yeah, it's thundering here, Eddie. Oh, you're on mute. That's why you can't hear me. Well, he said he talked to Angela. Well, road trip Eddie, let me tell you something. As a former police officer, that's the best time for someone to burglarize your house is when it's raining. Less fingerprints in the rain. People aren't going to be out there looking to see somebody's breaking in your house if it's empty and you're not home. Yep. That's when we had most of our break-ins were in the rain. One, hurricane season goes all the way to October. You know that? It's like all summer long, all the way to October. And Florida's the worst place to be when there's a hurricane. But all those people in Key West, they just hunker down and they stay there, you know. And then 5 minutes before the hurricane makes landfall, they call you. They call the police and say they want help evacuating. Well, at that point, the police are already, you know, they're hunkered down in a safe place, and they're not going to come out and help you because they can't. Because they won't be there to help people after the hurricane. I would say if you know a hurricane's coming, leave. Watch it. I mean, watch it, see how far away it is. But if they tell you landfall is expected on Thursday and it's Monday, I'd start leaving. This way you're not rushing. And I'd leave before everybody else because you're going to get stuck on the interstate, you know, if it's coming towards where you're at. No, you know what? I don't think they do because I'm all the way down by Douglas Dam. So I don't think they come all the way down that Dunn Highway. I think they stop in Pigeon Forge. I don't think they come in, or downtown Sevierville. Maybe I don't think they come out this far because the trolleys are usually running in Pigeon Forge and in Gatlinburg, and I think it may be parts of Sevierville, downtown Sevierville. I'd have to look it up though. I've never rode the trolley. But I'll tell you what, sometimes it's a good idea. You know what's the best time to be here in Sevierville? Or in Gatlinburg, rather. Really, in Gatlinburg is the 4th of July. They are the first place that I know of in the United States of America to have a 4th of July parade. They're the first ones. And the 4th of July parade starts at midnight on the 3rd for the 4th. So on July 3rd at like 9:00, I would every year, this is when I had my condo here, I would go to downtown Gatlinburg and I'd get my seat in front of the candy fudge store on the corner. And it was like a stucco building and had this little ledge. And I'd sit up on that ledge so I wouldn't have to bring my chair with me. And then about just like an hour or 2 hours before the parade starts at midnight, like at 10:00 at night, they block off the streets and no traffic can go down there. And then all the kids can play in the street. They throw candy and pennies, and the kids are playing in the street, in the main street, and going through Gatlinburg. And then at midnight on the dot, when it becomes July 4th, the parade starts, and it's like 2 hours long. I mean, it's an awesome parade. The last one I got to see, Daisy Duke, which was several years ago now, because they didn't have it the last 2 years. Daisy Duke was the from Dukes of Hazzard. She was the grand marshal for the parade. It was so cool. It's really cool. Yeah, Debbie, I agree. As soon as they announce it, but I usually get down there December 15th. Yeah, I've been to the Thousand Trails. in Tennessee. Escapees has a also Escapees has a park here in Tennessee, not that far from here. I think it's Haskell, not far from the Thousand Trails Park, and you can boondock there if you're a Escapees member for like $7. You know, you still get to use the shower and the laundry room and all that other stuff, and you get water and dump, but no electric, and you have specific hours that you can run your generator. I full tiny house, and I camped there. I want to say last year or the year before we went there. And then we went to Cades Cove. We came here and went to Cades Cove, or maybe it was the opposite way around. But um, yeah, that was not far from the Thousand Trails Park. Oh, it was cold on the 4th of July? Yeah. It's just like Illinois. Sometimes on the 4th of July, it's cold in the Midwest. But usually July 4th isn't that bad here. I loved it. I used to come here every year to come to my condo. 4th of July, it was one. Even when I moved back to Illinois and I still had the condo, I would go there on the 4th of July. You know, I tried to do the Natchez Trace Trail thing, but I kept running out of gas, and it would take forever to find a gas station. And I didn't run out of gas, but I'd have to go looking for a gas station. So that just didn't work for me when I had that Ford Edge. But now with the van, I should be better off. I get 70 more miles to the gallon. Yeah, the thing is when they tell you to evacuate, just go. Especially if you don't live there and have any real property, you know. That's why I'll tell you what, that one year we had like 4 hurricanes in a row, and I was always being deployed. And then and then we got hit with Charlie. But I felt like I was living in a cave the whole summer because I had my windows boarded up on my house the whole entire time. That was pretty depressing, constantly having no sunshine in your house. Crazy. Yeah, when that hurricane guy shows up, it's time to leave. What's that guy's name that does the newscasting that everybody says? Oh, my neck is getting sore. You guys getting tired? Or are you just like all nocturnal like me? It's been 2 hours and 37 minutes. Yeah, that was a year when it was Ivan and Francis, and there was like 4 of them. So Incredible Tiny Homes is near here. I know that they're supposed to be doing some kind of show, and I thought it was in Sevierville or something, or maybe Gatlinburg, but I don't think it was going to be while I was here. You know, that's how I started this life. Was I loved tiny homes, and I was going to do the tiny home thing. But then I thought to myself, if I did that, I'd have to have a piece of property to put the tiny home on. And then I would feel like I couldn't go anywhere else. I would have to go there every time I wanted to go out of town. I didn't want to be stuck and trapped in one location. So living life as a nomad, I could travel all over the United States and go wherever I want. And I don't have to keep going back to the same piece of property because I own it and I paid for it and I got to use it, you know? I wouldn't want to leave it empty all the time because there's so many things I want to see. Thanks, Lorelei, for coming. Thanks, Road Trip Eddie, for coming. Yeah, it's getting late. We've been on for a long time. 2 hours and 39 minutes. It was nice seeing you too, Lorelei. Thanks for joining. I'm glad that at least I was able to get on here early for you guys. Aw, that's sweet, Billy. Ah, night owl like me. Oh, Janet, you're getting thunder and lightning now too. You're a couple hours from me. Well, it's really starting to come down now. I don't know if you can hear it. So I think I'm going to need to sign off anyway. 2 hours and 45 minutes. Oh my goodness. Well, I hope that maybe we shared some information with each other that'll help us all keep safe on the road, in our travels. I am too, Debbie. I'm glad everybody that couldn't come late. Eddie T, thank you. Janet, thank you. Tracy Jones, Tracy Vetter, Bobby, Billy Strong, and say hi to Rhonda for me. Badge, Deborah on the go, Lorelei. Did Badge leave already? And did I miss saying goodnight to him? Sissy Taylor, Carl. You guys all have a Bobby Shine, Debbie T. Everybody have safe travels, happy trails. Watch your back and don't forget. And Angie, good evening. Thanks so much for being here. Don't forget to pack those essential things that you're going to need and always have water and a map and another form of communications because you can't trust the internet. Okay? Be safe out there, everybody. And thanks for joining me for the live chat. We'll do it maybe. Badge, thank you for coming. We'll talk with you later. Next time we should bring some people up and they could be guests on. Anybody who's interested in being a guest, let me know because I'll pop you up on the screen with us and I can see your faces. Thanks, Raylene Snyder, for coming by again in the lurking lounge. Yeah, she's just like, look at her sleeping. I love you guys. Thanks so much. Have a good night. Mwah. Good night. Be safe. I got to get my cursor up to the stop. Here we go. Bye.